Hello. So today, boundaries. So, two questions for you. Would you like to feel less overwhelmed? Would you like to feel more in control? I am sure you would. And there are times where we don't feel like that. And that's normal. No matter how confident, empowered, and resilient, and all those things we feel, there are moments where we don't quite feel like that. So sometimes you might find you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, wondering how you're going to get through the day, feeling exhausted. Or maybe on the other side, you'd love to be feeling confident, empowered, got everything sussed. You look at your diary, you don't have that sinking feeling, you feel great. So, obviously, there's a big difference between these two sides of the coin. So, what I'm sharing with you now is all about boundaries. So, why is it important now? Because if we don't stick to our boundaries, we say yes when we want to say no. We feel overwhelmed because our diary is full. We miss out on things that were more important to us, like time with our family. So I'm just going to share a little story where I know my boundaries have slipped somewhat. So I always promised my family that when I set up my business, we were going to have this amazing life. But we do have an amazing life, and life would be easy, and we'd be traveling first class and all this stuff. Well, that's not quite happened. However, what I love, I'm so blessed by what I do, helping leaders show impact, influence, power, and passion as themselves, the courage to be you. So it's absolutely a joy what I do. However, these sometimes anyone that's got a business, or those of you in the corporate world, we work quite long hours, and this is where boundaries are absolutely key. Now, my husband caught me out because in my calendar I said family time 5 o'clock. He said to me, "Why are you still working till 7?" And I said, "Oh, okay, got a lot going on right now." Got presentations to prepare, lots happening. And consequently, I felt completely out of integrity. And this is one little boundary. We have boundaries in every aspect of our life. When like if you look at your calendar, are all those meetings essential that you put in your calendar? Are you spending time for yourself? Are you doing your self-care? For me, it's a non-negotiable going to the gym every morning. And I was in the gym at 6 o'clock this morning because this is a non-negotiable for me because it sets me up for the day. And if I didn't do that, I know I can't imagine what that would be like because I would feel out of integrity with myself because I've promised to get myself to the gym every morning. And if I haven't, unless obviously there's a good reason, like I'm away or meetings or you're not feeling great or something like that, obviously there's good cause for that. But for the general day to day, if I didn't get to the gym, I'd really feel that I'd let myself down. So integrity is all about doing what we know is the right thing for us, not necessarily everybody else. But if we're in integrity, then we feel better about ourselves. We can perform better. We can support our clients better. We can support our teams better because we are knowing that we're being honest and integrity with ourselves. So that is just a thing. Just have a think about your boundaries. What are your boundaries? What are your non-negotiables, and are you communicating them with everyone? So if your non-negotiable is always take the kids to school, and therefore you're never going to be in the office between a certain time, or you'll never be turning on your laptop till a certain time, does everybody know that? Because that's the boundaries only as good as if we disseminate them and share them with everyone. Now, I've had a few clients who've been going through quite a lot of challenging times right now, bereavements or, something really big stuff. And so consequently, encourage them. Hi, Mahatma. Encouraging them to explain that to their boss if they're ready to, and explain actually that they're going through a tough time. They might have more need to take the children to school, for example, which sometimes they might not always have to do, and be home early when they come back from school, or whatever situation they're in. So there might be a short period of time where a crisis is happening that actually has changed those boundaries. So that's why it's so important to share them. But have a think, what are your non-negotiables? What are your non-negotiables of time, how people talk to you, what projects you accept? And sometimes it's a question of saying to your boss, if your boss says, can you do this project? Sometimes it's always the power of the pause to say, wait, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. And because if you say yes to this, what are you saying no to that's more important? And therefore, that's in every aspect of our life. So it's the power of the pause to reflect, but also to be really clear to everyone what your boundaries are in every aspect of your life. So that's my thought for the day. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.